The sky was quiet. Too quiet. Across every city, town and village, people looked up, expecting something ordinary. But today, something extraordinary was coming. At first, it was subtle, a flicker on screens, a strange hum in the air. Then, all at once, every television, every computer, every phone, even military satellites, lit up with a signal that no one could ignore. The world froze. No one knew who sent it. No one knew why it was here. But the moment the broadcast started, fear spread faster than wildfire. On the screens, strange shapes moved, tall, thin, with faces that seemed wrong. Their eyes glowed, unblinking, staring through the cameras directly at everyone watching. And then, without warning, the horror began. Millions of humans appeared on the broadcast. Ordinary people from every corner of the world. Mothers clutching their children. Soldiers standing at attention. Scientists in their labs. And then, one by one, the humans were executed in cold, mechanical ways. There was no sound, no mercy. Just flashes of light and lifeless bodies. 9 million people disappeared before the eyes of the planet. People screamed. Phones dropped. News channels went black. Governments scrambled, trying to shut down the signal, but it was everywhere. No firewall, no server, no satellite could stop it. The aliens were not just showing power, they were announcing it. "This is a warning," the voice said, deep and metallic. "Surrender Earth, or more will die." Panic took over. Streets emptied as families ran to hide. Governments issued emergency alerts, but no one listened. Citizens didn't want instructions, they wanted safety, and there was none. Fear became a virus, spreading from city to city, country to country. In the midst of chaos, the world's leaders gathered in secret. Underground bunkers, fortified palaces, and hidden naval bases became temporary war rooms. Faces were pale, hands trembled, but decisions had to be made. One general, his voice low and grim, said, "This is not war, this is extermination. They are testing us. And they will not stop until they finish us all." A scientist added, "They are broadcasting executions to break us. To make us give up before we fight." The room fell silent. They all knew she was right. Humanity was being pushed to the edge. And if the world didn't respond, there would be no more tomorrow. Meanwhile, on the streets, ordinary people struggled to understand what they were seeing. Parents shielded children from the screens, but even closed doors couldn't stop the signal. The hum of alien machinery was everywhere, like a heartbeat in the sky. And behind it all, the message was clear: the aliens were in control. News agencies tried to report. "Breaking news, alien broadcast, millions dead," they said, but the words felt hollow. How do you report 9 million deaths in real time? How do you describe fear that stretches across the entire planet? Reporters stopped speaking. Cameras shook. Even the most experienced journalists couldn't find words. In the shadows, some prepared to fight. Resistance cells began forming quietly, spreading across continents. They gathered weapons, hacked signals, and shared rumors about alien weaknesses. But even they were unsure. How do you fight something that can reach into every home, every device, and every mind? The first hours felt like days. Days felt like weeks. Every second brought new horror. Each flash of the broadcast reminded humanity that they were at the mercy of beings they could barely understand. Parents whispered prayers. Soldiers loaded weapons. Leaders debated strategies. And all the while, the aliens watched, calm and merciless, as if time itself obeyed them. And then, something unexpected happened. A message appeared on the broadcast, different from the executions. The voice, deeper and colder than before, spoke directly to Earth's leaders. "Decide quickly. Surrender, or suffer total annihilation. The choice is yours, but time is short." It was a challenge. Not just to governments, but to the spirit of humanity itself. Fear was everywhere, but so was anger. Humanity had faced disasters before, volcanoes, wars, pandemics, but nothing like this. Nothing had ever demanded that the entire planet unite against a single enemy at once. In the quiet of a hidden bunker, General Marcus turned to the room. His eyes were hard, determined. "We do not surrender. We fight. If they think this will break us, they are wrong. Humanity will respond, and it will be total. If they want war, we will give them war." A murmur of agreement spread through the room. Scientists, generals, and diplomats all realized the same thing. The aliens had underestimated humanity. They had shown their power, but they had also shown their arrogance. By nightfall, the world was on high alert. Military satellites were launched. Communications scrambled. Defense systems activated. And yet, every human still alive could not shake the horror of what they had seen. The faces of the 9 million dead haunted them. Every broadcast, every screen reminded them that this was no ordinary war. This was survival. As the first part of the broadcast ended, the final message remained on every screen. "Earth, prepare. Your time is running out." And humanity knew, in the depths of its bones, that nothing would ever be the same again. The sky was still dark from the aftermath of the alien broadcast. Cities were quiet, but not peaceful. Smoke rose from empty streets. Sirens wailed in some places, while in others, only whispers of fear remained. Humanity had survived the first wave of terror, but survival was only the beginning. In secret, Earth's leaders gathered again. The 9 million lives lost weighed heavily on their minds. Each face, each scream, replayed in their memories. They could not wait. The aliens had shown their strength, and the world had no time to lose. In a hidden bunker beneath the ruins of an old city, a group of scientists worked around bright screens and humming machines. They were young and old, from every nation, brought together for one purpose: to give humanity a chance. The project had a name whispered only among them: Project Black Dawn. Project Black Dawn was unlike any weapon humanity had ever built. It was not just a bomb, not just a missile. It was a weapon designed to erase the aliens completely, to strike at the very core of their technology and biology. If used, it could destroy their fleets, their colonies, their homeworlds. But it was dangerous. Too dangerous. Even one mistake could destroy Earth itself. Dr. Elena Voss, the lead scientist, stood over a holographic map of the galaxy. She pointed to glowing dots, the locations of alien fleets and colonies. Her voice was steady, but her hands shook. "We have one chance. If we fail, the aliens will retaliate. But if we succeed, humanity survives." A general nodded. General Marcus, still haunted by the images of the broadcast, leaned forward. "We don't have a choice. If we wait, they will come for us. Every human left alive will die. Black Dawn is our only chance." The room was silent. The weight of the decision pressed down like a heavy stone. Scientists whispered to one another, checking calculations, running simulations, praying that nothing went wrong. They had only days, maybe hours, before the aliens returned. Meanwhile, ordinary people on the surface tried to live through the terror. Children hid under beds. Families barricaded doors. Streets were empty, except for soldiers patrolling, scanning the skies for the first sign of alien return. Rumors spread. Some said Black Dawn was a myth, a desperate plan that could never work. Others whispered hope. Humanity might actually strike back. Back in the bunker, Dr. Voss activated the weapons testing sequence. The screens lit up with streams of data, faster than anyone could read. "This is it," she said. If it fails, we all die." Outside, alien ships appeared on radar. The first wave was cautious, almost mocking. They hovered, watching. Maybe they expected Earth to surrender. Maybe they expected fear to win. But Earth was ready. Black Dawn was ready. The scientists worked tirelessly, coding, hacking, adjusting. Every detail mattered. One wrong number, one miscalculation, and the weapon could turn on its creators. The tension was unbearable. Even the hum of machines felt like it could explode at any moment. In another secret room, General Marcus addressed the world's military leaders through secure channels. We fight differently now. This is not a battle for territory. This is survival. The aliens underestimated us. We will hit them where it hurts most. He paused. Some of you may call this genocide. Some may call it madness. But we have seen their power. They executed 9 million of our people without mercy. Humanity has the right to defend itself. The first strike plan was ready. Satellites, missiles, and hacking programs would work together, coordinated with Black Dawn. Aliens would not know what hit them. Every move had been calculated, every variable considered. And yet, nobody truly knew what would happen. Time moved slowly. Every tick of the clock echoed like a drum in the bunker. Outside, humans looked up at the sky, praying, hoping, fearing. Some stayed close to family. Others armed themselves, waiting for the first sign of alien attack. The world held its breath. Suddenly, a screen flashed red. Alien fleets were advancing faster than expected. The first ships entered Earth's orbit. They were massive, black, with shapes that seemed impossible. The hum of their engines vibrated through the ground. Panic threatened to spread, but the military held their positions. Black Dawn was ready. Humanity had no other choice. Dr. Voss turned to General Marcus. "It's time." He nodded. "Do it. Humanity will not bow." With a single command, Project Black Dawn activated. Satellites transmitted sequences into alien networks. Viruses spread through alien systems. Defensive shields were attacked from multiple directions. Humanity's first strike was not just physical, it was digital, biological, and psychological. On the surface, people felt the ground tremble. Lights flickered. Alien ships faltered. Some fell from the sky in bursts of fire. The first blow had been delivered. Humanity had shown that it could fight back. But victory was not complete. The aliens were not defeated, they were wounded, confused, and enraged. The first signs of retaliation appeared. A shockwave hit the coastlines. Communications scrambled. Panic returned. The war had begun, but this time, humanity was not waiting to die. In the bunker, scientists and generals watched the chaos unfold. Faces were pale, but determination burned in their eyes. Black Dawn had worked, but only partially. The aliens were powerful, smarter than anyone had imagined. The fight for survival had only just begun. And yet, for the first time since the broadcast, hope flickered. Humanity had a weapon. Humanity had a plan. And humanity had the will to fight. The world braced itself. The next battle would be closer, bloodier, and more terrifying. But Earth had awakened. And when it struck again, the aliens would know that humanity did not surrender. Humanity fought. And humanity would not stop. The night sky burned with alien lights. Ships hovered over cities, their massive forms blocking the stars. Humanity had struck back with Black Dawn, but the aliens were not finished. Their engines hummed like deadly insects, their weapons glowing ominously. Earth was no longer just a home, it was a battlefield. On the surface, soldiers and civilians alike watched the sky in fear. Streets were filled with the smell of smoke and burning metal. Military bunkers buzzed with activity as generals coordinated attacks. Every human alive understood one terrifying truth. The aliens had power, but they had underestimated the human spirit. General Marcus stood on a cliff overlooking a city, binoculars in hand. "They thought fear would stop us," he said quietly. "They were wrong. They thought we would surrender. We fight back. And we will." At the same time, thousands of scientists and engineers worked in hidden labs. Black Dawn had been partially successful. It had crippled some alien systems, confused others, but it had not destroyed them completely. Humanity needed more. They began crafting smaller, faster strikes, using guerrilla tactics that the aliens could not predict. Missiles disguised as satellites. Viruses hidden inside cargo drones. traps inside the cities themselves. The aliens attacked first. Their ships descended in patterns that seemed impossible. Energy beams shot across the skies, tearing through buildings, leaving fire and chaos behind. Millions ran for shelter, hearts pounding, knowing they were not just fighting for land, they were fighting for life. But humans had learned from the first strike. City defenses activated with perfect timing. Missiles intercepted alien projectiles. Laser turrets tracked ships with precision. Even the simplest weapons, trains, trucks and drones, were turned into traps for the invaders. The battle was chaotic. Explosions lit up the night. Ships fell like meteors. Soldiers shouted commands, dodging blasts and leading civilians to safety. In the shadows, resistance fighters carried out ambushes, hacking alien systems and destroying smaller units. Despite their advanced technology, the aliens struggled. They had never faced an enemy that fought with unpredictability. Humans were chaotic, daring, and relentless. Every strike was unexpected. Every defense was clever. Every life taken by aliens fueled the fire of vengeance in the hearts of survivors. Inside the command bunkers, General Marcus and Dr. Voss watched the chaos unfold on multiple screens. They didn't expect this, Marcus said, a grim smile on his face. We're using their arrogance against them. Dr. Voss nodded. But this is only the beginning. They are adapting. We have to hit harder, faster, smarter. Otherwise, we'll lose everything. Suddenly, a massive shockwave shook the command center. One of the largest alien ships had fired a weapon directly at a city. The explosion was terrifying. Flames consumed entire blocks, and clouds of smoke rose like black towers. Civilians screamed, and soldiers rushed to contain the damage. Humanity realized that survival would come at a heavy price. In response, Earth's forces launched a daring counterattack. Squadrons of fighters swooped in from all directions, striking weak points in alien formations. Missiles and viruses spread through the enemy systems, disabling shields and engines. The aliens were forced to retreat in disorder, their confidence shaken. But the cost was high. Entire battalions of humans were lost in the first wave of counterattacks. Families mourned loved ones. Cities burned. Still, the fight continued. Humanity had discovered one truth: to survive, they had to be both ruthless and clever. Then came the twist. In the midst of the battle, scouts discovered alien technology buried beneath a remote desert. This technology was not for attack. It was something far more sinister. Alien machinery hummed, connected to a network of unknown power. The aliens were not just invaders, they were part of a system, a larger force humanity had yet to understand. General Marcus realized the danger immediately. They are building something bigger, he said. If we don't stop them, this war will never end. We have to destroy their command center, whatever it takes. The next days were a blur of strategy and action. Coordinated strikes, sabotage missions, and defensive maneuvers kept humans constantly on edge. Every small victory was hard-won. Every loss was devastating. The world had changed. Children no longer played in the streets. Adults no longer slept without fear. And yet, humanity refused to give up. As the battle raged on, a new kind of suspense emerged. Alien communications hinted at reinforcements. Entire fleets were still unaccounted for. Humanity had crippled their technology, but not their numbers. Every victory brought a question: would the next wave be worse? Amid the chaos, civilians and soldiers alike began to understand something fundamental. The aliens were powerful, but they were not invincible. Human ingenuity, courage, and determination created openings that the advanced invaders could not predict. The war was not fair, but survival never is. By the end of the third part, the battlefield had shifted. Cities were scarred, skies still burned with alien fire, but Earth had proven it could fight. Humanity had unleashed new weapons, destroyed alien ships, and disrupted their networks. And yet, a chilling thought remained in every mind. The aliens had underestimated humans once, but the final strike, the one that could end everything, was still to come. As night fell, the surviving humans prepared for the next stage of war. Generals planned, scientists calculated, and civilians waited with bated breath. Humanity had won battles, but the war had only begun. And in the depths of space, the aliens regrouped. Their confidence shaken, their systems disrupted, they began a silent, calculated response. Revenge would come. And when it did, humanity would face a choice: fight harder or be erased from existence. The sky was a battlefield. Fires burned across cities, smoke twisted into dark clouds, and the stars were barely visible through the haze of war. Humanity had fought hard, striking back with Black Dawn, sabotaging alien fleets, and defending its home planet. But the final battle, the one that would decide the fate of both species, was about to begin. Inside a hidden bunker, General Marcus and Dr. Elena Voss studied the alien command networks. The screens showed chaos among the enemy ranks. Many alien ships were destroyed, and some colonies had gone silent. But the aliens were still alive, and they were dangerous. "This is it," Marcus said, his voice steady, though his eyes were tired. "We end this now. Humanity cannot survive another wave of this attack. We use Black Dawn one final time." Dr. Voss nodded. "We've prepared everything. Satellites, viruses, orbital strikes, all synchronized. We target their command centers first. Then we erase the rest." Outside, civilians and soldiers alike waited. Fear was everywhere, but so was determination. Every human alive had a reason to fight, and every strike from the aliens had only strengthened their resolve. This was no longer just a war. It was survival. As the countdown began, Earth launched its assault. Missiles streaked across the sky, striking alien command ships with precision. Viruses spread through alien networks, disabling shields and engines. Orbital strikes burned through enemy fleets. The aliens fought back, fiercely and without mercy. Their weapons tore through Earth's defenses, taking lives and destroying cities. But humanity had learned to adapt. Each counterattack was faster, smarter, more unpredictable. The battlefield was chaotic, but humans had the advantage of creativity and courage. Then came the moment of truth. Black Dawn reached full activation. Waves of energy and viruses swept across alien networks and planets. Ships that had once seemed invincible exploded into fireballs. Entire colonies went dark. Alien broadcasts stopped mid-sentence. For the first time, the invaders experienced fear. Humans watched in tense silence as their enemies fell. The screens that had once shown horror now showed silence. For a moment, it seemed that victory was theirs. Humanity had struck back and won. But victory came with a cost. Cities lay in ruins, millions of humans had died, and Earth itself had been scarred by the battles. The survivors mourned their losses, but there was no time to rest. Humanity had survived the first wave, but the aliens had left one final message. The broadcast returned, flickering across every screen. The voice, weak and distorted, said, "You have won, but you do not understand. We were not the enemy. We were running from something far worse. And now, it comes for you." Silence fell. No one moved. The words sank into every mind like a shadow. Humanity had survived a war, but the aliens' warning was clear. This was not the end. Something even greater was coming. Something that neither technology nor courage could fully prepare them for. General Marcus clenched his fists. "We have survived before. We will survive again. Whatever comes, Earth will fight." Dr. Voss looked at the screens, her face pale but determined. "We've learned their strengths, their weaknesses. If the real threat comes, we will be ready. Humanity does not surrender." Across the world, humans began rebuilding, but the knowledge of the alien warning hung over every decision. Survivors trained, scientists continued research, and defenses were strengthened. Humanity had won a war, but the true test of survival was still ahead. The skies cleared, but the tension remained. Every satellite, every ship, Every sensor watched for signs of movement. The world had changed forever. Children born now would inherit a planet that had stared into the abyss and survived, but they would also inherit fear. And somewhere, deep in space, the unknown force the aliens had feared moved closer. It was silent, powerful, and unstoppable. Humanity had faced extinction once and won. But the final battle, the one that would define the future of all life, was yet to come. As the sun rose over the broken cities, General Marcus spoke to the people in a broadcast that reached every home. "We have survived the first storm. We have proven that humanity will fight. But we must prepare. The war is not over. And when the next enemy comes, we will stand together. We will survive. We will endure. And we will fight." The camera panned to the survivors, soldiers, scientists, families, and children. Fear lingered in their eyes, but so did hope. Humanity had won a great battle. Humanity had struck back. Humanity had survived the horror. And yet, deep in the darkness of space, a shadow moved closer, unseen, unstoppable, waiting for the day it would descend on Earth. The story ends with a lingering question: humanity has survived, but will they survive what comes next?